Welcome to the Tool Lending Library at the Smart Building Center, an energy efficiency innovation space for commercial, institutional, and industrial building operations. Our focus is where smart meets comfort, safety, and efficiency. And we offer state-of-the-art training and meeting spaces, educational resources such as this training video, and our Tool Lending Library offers a wide spectrum of diagnostic and monitoring tools available for free. So to create an account and check out our tools, go ahead and visit our website at smartbuildingscenter.org. So we're going to look at using a flow hood to measure cubic feet per minute, or CFMs, of airflow through a grill. And this can be used for measurement of any type of grill, supply, return, or exhaust. In this case, we're going to be using it to measure the exhaust air in a restroom. And this is really important because, of course, restrooms can contain a high amount of particulates in the air, including dangerous airborne infectious particles, virus particles such as the one responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's important to keep a negative pressure in the restroom compared with the rest of the building. Make sure you're exhausting more air than you are supplying to that restroom so that those particulates and odors don't go back into the building. And so with this particular flow hood, I'm using the Short Ridge flow hood that is the series 8400, and it works with this multimeter, the ADM 880C. This multimeter is very versatile. It can also be used with a pitot tube to do velocity measurements in ducts. For example, it comes with this airfoil probe, which also measures velocity and helps measuring velocities, lower velocities. And then this also can be used with duct static pressure probes. For this demonstration, we'll be using it to measure the flow in restroom exhaust. So I've inserted the meter here onto the flow hood. This also has a back pressure compensation. So anytime you're placing an object up next to a grill, it's going to change the airflow somewhat. So the flow hood itself will do a compensation to make up for that and get a more accurate reading. And by doing that, to do that, we will first have to take a reading with these flaps open, and then another reading with them closed. And then the meter will automatically calculate the difference and compensate for that back pressure. We also, on this flow hood, have a handle that has a reading button on it. So you can use the handle to hold the flow hood up to the grill, and it's got a handy button here at the top to take the readings. So you're not fumbling down here on the screen and while trying to hold up the flow hood. So we'll head into the restroom and get the flow reading on the exhaust and see what that means. So this particular restroom has 4 toilets, and the state mechanical code states that we need to provide at least 50 CFMs per fixture. So that would equal 200, 50 times 4. So we need at least 200 CFMs to meet code. Now we'll use the flow hood to measure the exhaust coming out and determine whether we're meeting code and look at how well we're ventilating this restroom. Okay, so I've got the flow hood here, and I'm going to hold it up against this exhaust grill and firmly so that there aren't any gaps around the top of the flow hood. And then, as I mentioned, I've got this handy little button on this handle here. So I'm going to go ahead and do one with the flaps open in order to provide the first measurement for the calibration. Okay, then I'm going to close that flap and do another measurement. correcting for the density of the air, and I'm reading 406 cubic feet per minute. Okay, so I've got the flow hood here. I'm gonna measure the supply grill, and so I'm gonna line this up against the grill, press firmly. I've got the flaps open on this for the first measurement. Okay, and then I'm going to close the flaps and take one more measurement. Make sure this is pressed firmly up against the grill. Okay, and so I'm reading 176 CFMs. So we are definitely exhausting much more than we are supplying in this restroom. And what we're looking for is at least a 10% difference between the supply and the exhaust. So we're definitely have a good negative pressure, negative exhaust, sucking all the air out of this restroom. That's a good thing. So we have determined that we are exhausting more air than we're supplying into the restroom. That's a good thing. We're providing a negative pressure differential, sucking all of the air, particulates, odors out of the restroom so they don't go back into the building. And now we can use our laser distance meter to calculate the volume so that we can determine our changeover rate, or how many air changes per hour. So I'm using this Fluke 424D laser distance meter, also available in the tool lending library. And this has a handy feature where you can calculate the cubic feet or volume very easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and take one measurement here lengthwise in the room. So it's got a little laser pointer red dot I can see on the opposite wall. I'm going to just press my measure button. That gets the first measurement. Okay, now I'm going to go over and take my second measurement, the width of the room. Okay, and I'm going to do the ceiling height from the floor. So the distance meter is able to calculate the total volume in cubic feet, which we're looking at about 1754 cubic feet. So when we calculate the 406 cubic feet per minute that we're exhausting from the restroom, that comes out to roughly almost 14 air changes per hour. And that is more than adequate. We want to provide at least about 10 air changes per hour, and so we're going above and beyond. Now, from an energy efficiency standpoint, we may be slightly over-ventilating, so that is something to consider. So you can see how easy it is to measure airflow across a grill in order to determine how well you're ventilating a space. This is just one example of the many tools we have available in the tool lending library. So to create an account and check out our tools, go ahead and visit our website at smartbuildingscenter.org.